as the impending storm from the north brews, Jeremiah went to the temple to proclaim a warning. Not only do the people risk the loss of their country if they continue their unfaithful ways, but that God would wipe out the Jerusalem temple just as he had done with the sanctuary of Shiloh, where the Ark of the Covenant had been kept at the time of Samuel. This is simply devastating news because the temple is the center of Jewish worship. It's the sacred locus where heaven and earth come together and God is given right praise and worship. To prophesy in the temple that God is going to destroy his temple must have been staggering for the people to hear. But in Jeremiah's great temple sermon in the 7th chapter, the prophet unflinchingly says that the constant idolatry and hypocrisy of the people has led to the wrath of God's justice, which cannot be stopped. Not surprisingly, Jeremiah's words angered the people, the priests, and the prophets who were attached to the temple, and they seized him and threatened his life. Royal officials also thought that he had crossed the line into treason and wanted to convict him for such an undermining of the government policy and undermining the morale of the people. But Jeremiah wasn't finished. At times, he had even predicted that the Davidic dynasty, as they understood it, was to end forever. When we read Jeremiah's Lamentations, one senses a heart that was broken within him, as was God's, by the people's arrogance and pride. The prophet and the people have borne a terrible burden of punishment deserved and justly handed out. Jeremiah's prophecy would come true. The people would lose their land. Jerusalem and the temple would be destroyed, and the Davidic dynasty would come to an end. But despite this abject loss, God will not abandon his people. Since their stubborn hearts have been broken and rent asunder through devastating losses, the people will need new hearts formed in exile before they can renew their covenant relationship with God. We hear in Jeremiah 27, Jeremiah 24, 5 through 7, I will look kindly on them and bring them back to this land. I will bring them up and destroy them, plant them and not uproot them. I will dispose their heart to know me as Yahweh. They will be my people, and I will be their God with all their heart, and they will come back to me. This is the final intent of God, the plan God has for his people. It's a new thing, never seen before, even among his own people. The new covenant that God will make with the people is described in the most famous lines of the book of Jeremiah. Listen. This is the covenant I shall make with Israel after that time. I will put my law within them and write it down on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people. The new covenant is linked to a person and brings a promise for the future. In those days and at that time, I will make him who is a shoot of righteousness sprout from David's line. He will practice justice and righteousness in the land. In those days, Judah will be saved and Jerusalem will live in safety. He will be called Yahweh our righteousness, Jeremiah 33:15. But before this can happen, the land must be ravished, the city gone, the temple gone, many people dead. Those who do survive are slaves in a foreign country. Yet Jeremiah preaches hope and unbounded, unbelievable possibilities once again. The God of Jeremiah and Israel can create something new, fresher, and more true than the original covenant. This new covenant will be forged by Yahweh's anointed one, the Messiah, who will be, as Isaiah prophesied, Emmanuel, God among us. Brothers and sisters, God's love and faithfulness are never-ending and everlasting. They are ever creative and ever imaginative, full of grace and based upon both justice and mercy. God wants His people to know Him, to understand Him, to respond to Him freely, to become more human. The people of God will become His dwelling place, but in a way that will be totally unexpected. God will pitch his tent among us. God will become one of us as the messianic hope is realized. Next week, we will conclude our reflection of salvation history as we reflect upon how Jesus fulfills the messianic hope in unexpected ways.